Hi, I'm Shelley Ferris-Smith. I'm a UK resourcing partner in Swindon for Zurich. Talent acquisition was a newly set up function within HR at the time, so that's sort of going back to January 2018, so we went live then. Previously to that, we had AMS on site, who were a company that basically outsourced the whole of the recruitment function. So I was really keen to utilise Horsefly to actually start to engage our stakeholders, the hiring managers, the population we were dealing with, to have richer conversations covering rewards, talent planning, strategy workforce planning. Nothing was in place at all in terms of how we actually forecasted for our work for the year. Had nothing to go on, so it was a little bit of guesswork, so it was great to actually have some very clear, very sentient data that we could use very quickly and actually share with that population. So I think we were at a standing start really, and it was quite good because it was a blank canvas. I knew that this tool would be invaluable just in terms of actually trying to, so one of the challenges we had was about sort of the REVP, our branding, tone and content of our adverts, and again actually looking at the marketplace, you know, that there was nothing really to talk to those stakeholders about what that marketplace looked like. You know, the evolution of a position, for instance, whether it was a financially based role now that we had to fill going into a hybrid role in 18 months. No sense really of what the market was like in any area of the business. It was very much a reactive function, and I think we were seen very much as a service sort of provider almost. So that kind of seamless transition from an outsourced service provider into an in-house function, for me felt like a perfect opportunity to actually use something that was going to be, you know, tangible for them, because ultimately it's sort of aiding that relationship development that's so critical and important in the business, but more so actually having the data there that's being provided to tell you where's that candidate coming from, what college or university do they go to, what's the market salary, a heat map, you know, to show you where they're actually located. Gives you as a, you know, as a partner in resourcing the ability to actually start having that sort of wider conversation about strategy, about talent planning, and also about the resourcing here and now. We were looking within the risk practice to explore really whether or not agriculture was an area of business that we wanted to look at. Part of that was actually trying to establish whether or not there was a marketplace for it. So again, when I talked to the relevant hiring manager about this, I said, why don't we just start looking? I said, because my feeling is that the bulk of businesses that are doing this already are on the southeast and London, and specifically you can have, you know, players that will be known, you know, NFU, those sorts of people. And, you know, why are we going after business that's A, very niche, and B, for me, I felt was quite small, with well-established, well-connected organisations. So there was a lot of conversation that had gone on already, and actually quite scarily, we were 2/3 of the way down a path of making a decision to potentially go down that route. By using Horsefly, the deck was actually sent through to the people that are at those sort of fairly critical conversation levels. And in fact, the business elected to not go ahead, to not actually pursue that area of business. And for me, again, very powerful, because it's not just about how we can build and grow the business, it's helping the business make important decisions, strategic decisions, in terms of, is that area right for us to go to? Geographically, can we support it? And in this case, the answer was no. So, great result. I've encouraged the relevant resourcing partners to do, and the business areas to do, is to use this, you know, and tie this in with really at the start of the journey. So if we're talking about a recruitment or a change program, you know, to actually use this, that's what this tool is so great for. And again, you know, working collaboratively then across different business areas, so with our rewards and performance people, to understand if we're trying to shape or create a new role or a new area of the business, that, you know, we've used this to start with. So my anticipation expectation at this point would be that relevant partner was using this to say, actually, the area that you're looking at geographically doesn't have a wealth of people who are doing this. So, you know, looking at this report, it's telling us that they're located either in a different location, or actually the type of people we're looking for don't really exist, or there's a very small pot of them. You're talking then about having a conversation like looking outside financial services potentially. What does strategy mean, the buzzword of the day, you know. That probably has impacted us the most, because, as I say, we can go back into those meetings we go into those meetings very much on the front foot. We're very proactive now, whereas before, I think it was very much, this is a service-driven area of the business and it's going to be very reactive. So actually, you know what, retrospectively, it probably has changed our process, in as much that this is something that means we are much more proactive. So the businesses perspective of how we act in that function has changed, I think, significantly, and we're now very much viewed, I think, as partners rather than as service facilitators. Everyone. I think it's such a simple, beautiful, effective tool. It's really quick, it's really powerful. Since using this, I've been involved in calls with ZNA, so that's our North American colleagues. Also talk to people in EMEA. The organisation are now looking at this. I know some people at Horsefly have talked to some of our colleagues in Zurich who are really interested in this. We're talking to people in Australia. We are a global outfit, and I think the fact that it's reached out within its first year really of being used is significant. But certainly to colleagues in the industry, it is a really user-friendly piece of kit. It's so effective, it's cost-effective in as much that you're able to make the right hires at the right time. And again, if you're having difficulty in specific conversations or engaging people who are absolutely focused that that's the right way to go, whether it's through a rewards cycle or whether it's through recruitment, this is really great because it just provides a really clear, visible picture of what's out there. And I think it's quick. You can turn that information out within minutes, and that's significant. You've got impact, you've got the visuals, and that hiring manager then is a captive audience.